Most digs begin early in the morning. The early morning light was the best time to work because there weren't any shadows that would prohibit us from seeing things from ancient times. Because of this, we would gather each morning at 5 a.m. and bring our tools up on the tell. We would then work until the early afternoon, only stopping for short breaks.
However, the excavation does not begin simply when the workers reach the field. So let's rewind a little bit.
Much happens long before the pickaxe hits the soil.
How do you start an excavation? That's a good question because there are different reasons why you start an excavation. One reason is you're interested in a particular problem and you want to solve it, so you're looking for a place where you might be able to solve the problem. Another way is there is a site that attracts your attention and you want to explore the site and see what's the history of the site, what's the history of the region. And so these are two ways of starting it. But you need to have what is known as a research design, a set of questions that you are going to ask, and also what kind of answers you expect, not the exact answers, but what you're supposed to find out, what you want to find out, and then the methodology that you are going to employ in order to get these answers. We decided to look for a site that has not been explored before, and we wanted to study the site itself and the region in which the site was located and see the relationship between the central site and the region and how they corresponded to each other. The next step is to put together a staff. As I said, you have to have the research design, but you have to put together a staff. You have to have the financial means to do it. And you have to get the permit to go and do it. In the good old days, I guess, just your reputation would have enabled you to get a permit. Nowadays, it's a little bit more complicated because the Antiquities Authority wants to make sure that you have the financial means, that you have the staff, that you have the backing of the institution. They are not going to give a permit to an individual. It has to be given to an individual, but with the backing of a particular institution that can then support the research. Also, because archaeology in Israel is considered now a natural resource, the government is not willing to just give it away to anyone. And so basically permits are given to Israeli institutions who then are looking for partners, mostly from the United States, but also from other places. And the reason is that those partners bring in the money. And the local institutions provide the staff and the logistics, and because it's very hard for an institution from outside of Israel to run an excavation when it comes to logistics. Today, if someone wants to start a project in Israel, that person would need to have an Israeli partner. Another thing that needs to be remembered is that when you get the permit, you just get it for 1 year. So you have to secure the permit for the first year, but to renew the permit, you have to fulfill certain obligations, and these obligations are the submission of a report at the end of every season, all the field photographs that we take, the official ones, and also all the photographs of the objects. And once we submit these things, we then can reapply, and there is a committee that goes over the materials and decides whether you get it or not. Usually it's nice if you have a rich uncle. And some excavations manage to get some benefactor who, for one reason or another, is interested in this particular thing and says, here, take 5 millions and do what you want to do. Or you raise money, your institution is interested, and your institution has certain funds that can be diverted in this direction. Or you apply for grants. You try to put together all sorts of resources, and the final one is that most of our projects are run as field school, and students pay tuition, and part of this tuition goes towards the financing of the excavation.